Hey traders, welcome back to the FX Heat YouTube channel. Hope everyone is good today. EU really played around a lot today. Really started to doubt my analysis. Anyways, let's get into the charts and see what happened today. As a quick reminder, let's start with the news. So we have PMI 2 hours after New York Open. We have job openings 3 hours after New York Open. And FOMC 6 hours after New York Open. Now looking at DXY, what do we see today? So during the last video, DXY was pushing up, and then after the push up, right at Frankfurt Open, price pushed down, swept the lows, gave somewhat of a fake out because what happened next? It pushed up, came into demand, had a small pullback. Supply had a small pullback and thereafter pushed through it. As of right now, this is the top of the supply zone. We've come quite a ways into it. Potentially may very well break it before the day's over. Now if we look at EU, so during the last video, price was pushing down. It broke the last point of demand. Thereafter, pushed up after Frankfurt Open. It actually swept the highs again and then started to play around, consolidate in this area. Let me remove my trades. Started to play around, consolidate in this area. At which point I was starting to think that price was going to push up into the upper supply zone before coming down. But the sweep actually held. So you can see the sweep here, and then the two pushes up after. So we had the second push up, and then the third push up, swept the second push up, supply held, and thereafter it pushed down quite strongly. And what else did I want to mention? So price continued to push down, broke the last point of demand here, broke the entire range as well, came back for a pullback into a flip zone, and thereafter pushed down again, played around for a little while, and now it's starting to melt down. The one thing I wanted to mention that I keep forgetting to mention during my videos is on FXCM. If you go and use FXCM, there is a monthly demand zone here. So there are targets for the price to go to, which you can't see on Forex.com, which is what I normally use for my charting. And yeah, you can see tapped into demand, pulled back a little, and now pushing down even further. So I can show you really quickly the trades I entered today. Probably better if I go to the 1 minute so you can see a little clearer. So the first trade I entered, I saw the sweep, I saw the breakdown, there was a second chalk, and then after that we had a pullback, push down again. I entered a sell stop a little before below where the price was at the time, and thereafter price came down, got me into the trade and continued to push down, but unfortunately I got taken out. Price wicked back up into the extreme supply, came back down one more time. There was a second chalk here on the pullback. I entered, this time without so much buffer below the price. It was maybe just a couple pipettes, and thereafter price tapped me in, pushed down, and I thought this was the one. I didn't take profits on either of the trades, but unfortunately price came back one more time, and after a third time I generally don't re-enter trades, and for this one I did see the lower time frame chalk. I set my order in my trade assistant, Price actually pushed down, came back into the area when I wanted to enter. I saw it, but I hesitated and said, screw it, I'm not going to enter the trade. But when that happens, you can guess the result. So price immediately pushed down, tested demand, pulled away from demand, then melted right after. Broke the lows, came back, and then here is where I entered a trade. So you see the flip zone that was created after the reaction of the demand. I was watching this. I saw that the flip zone broke, but then price came back below it, created a lower time frame chalk, went back up, and I said, screw it, I missed the first trade, it already broke structure, what's more probable? It's more likely to go down now than reverse and go up. So I set my stop loss. It was actually a pip and a half, maybe 2 pips below the price action, and price tapped me in, came back in, tested my entry, but thereafter came down. It was somewhat of a struggle holding this trade. I took my first TP here, but as it was playing around all the way down, I started to get more and more nervous. But ultimately, price did come down to my take profit area. So I still have a little running on this trade that I entered in the flip zone. I had the 2 trades running from 2 days ago. I closed those 2 at this TP, and I believe I have maybe 30% left on this trade to see if it goes down a little further. I'm thinking about closing it pretty soon. If it breaks this, I'll probably look for a pullback, and if demand holds, then I will just close the trade. So what to expect next? My expectation now, we've come down so low, we've tapped the monthly demand, we may push down a little lower, but my feeling is if it's not PMI, it's going to be FOMC that's going to push the price for a bigger pullback. I'm talking about probably one of those 100, 200 pip pullbacks. That's my guess. And the reason why I say that is prices come down so far. We've tapped the demand. We've had how many drives now? 1, 2, 3 big pullback, another drive down, another big pullback, and then let's continue with 4 here, another pullback, and roughly about 5 drives down. The most significant one was the one yesterday that I missed, but all in all, that's a pretty significant move. And the areas that we've come down are very low. We've broke all the price action, not the price action, but all the demand that we had from way back in 2017. And to be honest, I don't even know when this monthly demand came from, but it was much further away. Based on all that and having those big news events coming, I wouldn't be surprised if, okay, maybe we start to push down a little more. So I wouldn't be surprised if we push down a little more either. But come that news, I think we're just gonna whipsaw for a little while. Thereafter, play around, and then shoot up. That's my feeling. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. But typically, these type of news events often come when we're at lows. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have a huge reaction. Whether it's a reversal or not, that's a completely different story. As of right now, what I'm thinking is we're going to have a bigger pullback. So whether that bigger pullback turns into a reversal, or if it's just a pullback to to test some of these upper supply zones and then come down again, that's a different story, because we know the ECB isn't planning as of now to increase the interest rates until the 21st. So there is still a couple more weeks for price to continue to drive down lower and break these lower areas if it wants to, because honestly there's really nothing holding it back. But the moment those interest rates kick in, that'll be the time where EU should start gaining some strength and we should start seeing our first signs of reversal. Well, that's it for me. For myself, I won't be trading New York. I've already made sufficient amount of profit today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts about the price action that we saw up to now, the price action that you expect for New York session. Drop a comment below. And if you found value in this video, please be sure to like and subscribe to ensure you don't miss any future videos. And for those trading, be mindful of the news and protect your capital. Good luck trading today. See you guys tomorrow for London market analysis.